Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the rise of AI, artificial intelligence. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And what is the outlook for our future? I'm Jeff Pilkington, and this is Launch TV Now. And welcome back. So our good friend Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan's podcast a week or two ago, and I spent some time the other day watching that, and I must say everything that Elon said in this podcast was extraordinary. It was beyond a shadow of a doubt one of the most interesting things I've ever watched. And the reason it was so interesting is because he spent, especially in the first hour, a large part of that hour talking about artificial intelligence and what is happening with artificial intelligence. And how, you remember the days when we were all spooked and scared that like machines were taking over the world? Like we saw Terminator 2 and we were like, oh my God, it's monsters, it's machines are coming. Well, that form of AI is not the form of AI that's happening. It doesn't seem like it's going to be the Terminator running around. It's a form of AI in that it's more of a work behind the scenes form, in that what you need to know is the AI, the artificial intelligence, is already here. Yeah, it's already here. If you look around, you will see that AI is already controlling what's going on with things, from the social media networks to Google search, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All of these social media formats and Google search are actually AI algorithms. And the AI algorithms are controlled by these large companies, which would be Facebook, Google, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And what happens is there's these programmers and they've created these algorithms that have a billion variables, and then the programmers have now lost track of what's going on within the algorithms. So they don't even know. Jack Dorsey, the founder of CEO of Twitter, told Congress they don't even have full control over the algorithms anymore. So literally, we don't know. The robots are out ahead. They have control over decisions, because what you're seeing, the algorithm chooses what it wants you to see. Okay, when you type something into Google, that algorithm is based on how it was programmed, and who knows, it could go beyond that now. It is showing you what it wants you to see. So what we're seeing on our computers and on our social media networks are the work of AI already. We just haven't fully come to terms with it yet. So it's kind of freaky, but I want to show you a quick clip of some of the things that Elon said in this, because it's fascinating. So let's take a look at Elon really quick. Here he is on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yes. When I made this comment some years ago, but it feels like we are the biological bootloader for AI, effectively. We are building it. And then we're building progressively greater intelligence. And the percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. But the AI is informed, strangely, by the human limbic system. It is, in large part, our id writ large.
How so?
Well, you mentioned all those things, the sort of primal drives.
Mm-hmm.
There's all the things that we like and hate and fear. They're all there on the internet. They're a projection of our limbic system. It's true.
No, it makes sense. And the thinking of it as thinking of corporations and just thinking of just human beings communicating online through these social media networks as some sort of an organism it's a cyborg. It's a combination. It's a combination of electronics and biology.
Yeah.
Does this
In some measure, like it's the success of these online systems is sort of a function of how much limbic resonance they're able to achieve with people. The more limbic resonance, the more engagement.
Whereas, like, one of the reasons why probably Instagram is more enticing than Twitter.
Limbic resonance.
Yeah, you get more images, more video.
Yes.
It's tweaking your system more.
Yes.
Do you worry about or wonder, in fact, about what the next step is? I mean, a lot of people didn't see Twitter coming, that, you know, communicate with 140 characters or 280 now would be a thing that people would be interested in. Like, it's going to excel, it's going to become more connected to us, right?
Yes, things are getting more and more connected. They're, at this point, constrained by bandwidth. Our input-output is slow, particularly output. Output got worse with thumbs. You know, we used to have input with 10 fingers, now we have thumbs. But images are also they're a way of communicating at high bandwidth. You take pictures and you send pictures to people. That communicates far more information than you can communicate with your thumbs.
So what happened with you where you decided, or you took on a more fatalistic attitude? Like, what was there any specific thing, or was it just the inevitability of our future?
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
This seems
Nobody
like a scene
listened.
in a movie
Nobody
where
listened.
the robots are going to fucking take over and you're freaking me out. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened.
No one. Are people more inclined to listen today? It seems like an issue that's brought up more often over the last few years than it was maybe 5-10 years ago. It seemed like science fiction.
Maybe they will. So far, they haven't.
So it's crazy what he says. I mean, literally, what we have right now is we have our phones, okay? And the fact that when we look at our phone, that when we have our phone, we're much smarter when we have our phone, because our phone is becoming an extension of us, our computer or our phone. So really, we're cyborgs already, and we just don't know it yet. We're all walking around cyborgs. We need to know a calculation. We need to know the answer to a question. The phone is our extended brain. And what I found so interesting is Elon talks about how it's such a slow bandwidth because we're using our thumbs to get things. So we still get the information from that brain into our brain, but we have to search through it. Well, when that small little straw becomes the size of a river, which is the goal of his company Neuralink and some other companies, which everybody's kind of working on this, that's going to make things like out of control. Elon was saying you'll have superhuman cognition. I mean, you'll have the ability to do that. And eventually people will have the ability literally to upload themselves to the AI, to this computer world future that we can't really see yet, but that's coming. Because the AI is here. It's already here. You're a walking cyborg. You just don't know it yet. That is the biggest thing you should know from all of this, is we're already being controlled by this AI. It's already here. And the one other thing that he mentioned that, which I thought was fascinating, was the he talked about how when you film a movie, I'm here in Hollywood, obviously. When an action movie is filmed, it's really slow. It takes a long time to film the actual movie. But then they put the effects in and it speeds it up. It's really fast. It's great. It's high-paced. It's really fast. And that's the difference between understanding. That kind of gives clues about AI and clues to this, bigger potential simulation, whatever could be going on in the bigger picture. Because if we were a simulation, I'll end it on this. If we were a simulation, he says, and this is kind of separate from the AI, because the simulation can mean a lot of things, obviously. But it's not necessarily computers. I don't know that. if we're in a simulation, the simulation creators, what we're doing, our time could be completely different than their time to make it seem much interesting. So outside, it could be very boring to them. It probably is very boring, Elon was saying. But because we're so interesting, because we're the movie they're watching. So whatever they is, that could be something we can't even comprehend. So it's like that action movie that's slow-paced versus the fast-paced when it's sped up. Outside the simulation, inside the simulation. Now the simulation does not necessarily mean computers. It doesn't necessarily mean robots. This can mean anything. This can apply to religion. This can apply to anything. Like, we don't know. We just know that the chances of us being in a simulation are highly, 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 highly likely. Like billions to 1 chance that we are in a simulation. So the chances are very, very good. I think it's something like several billion to 1 that we are in a simulation or not in a simulation. So the chances are good is what you need to know. So anyway, check out this full podcast. I'll put the link below. It's fascinating to see. AI is already here. You're already a cyborg, and the simulation possibility is highly, highly, highly likely. So know those 3 things from this video is you're already a cyborg, AI is here and already running the show. We just don't know it yet. And 3, we're in a simulation. Very likely. I hope you like this video. If you want to hear more like it, please be sure to check out my channel and click the like button below. You can also subscribe. I'm here every week I vary it up, 1, 2, 3 videos a week. I'm Geoff Pilkington, and this is Launch TV. Everybody have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.